Are we back? I don't think so. I hope so. Not yet.
Not yet. Almost. Alan, you're not gonna sit here, Alan?
What?
You're not gonna sit here?
I could, shall I?
Yeah, just let me set up the stream and then.
Oh, that's right. I gotta move over there. Oh, all right.
Well, bye. It was nice sitting next to you.
Nice to meet you.
We'll see you in a few moments.
Get my gear, which I guess is this, and this. It's surprising you about how spacious our offices are.
It's
We
fabulous.
moved it
I
around
love
a
it.
little bit from last year.
We did, yeah. Harry redesigned this. Harry Droz, he redesigned.
Hey, job, great.
Great job. Here, we'll take a camera view of everything so everyone can see.
I'll tell you, Harry, if you've got any plans for further redesign, do not.
Hi, Pam.
Do not put mirrors in here like a barber shop. This would freak me out.
Hi, Pam. We see you too. Hi, Anna. I don't like the way this is sitting. I'm going to push it back. I know you are Anna. I did say hi to you. And I think John is watching. Camera behind us. Try to move this so everyone else can get in the picture.
I can't hear you.
It's okay, you don't need to. Just
Talking
wave.
to me?
Yeah, just wave.
You're up there.
Ah, there we are. Hello. Forgot about that.
Turn this.
Does that bother you?
No, I'm good.
When do I go back?
Alan's doing the interview.
Welcome back to the Great Give.
Hello, Alan. How are you?
Hi, we have Maria Phillips and Jason Berg from an organization called Kids of American Heroes, and I'm going to ask them in a moment to not only do their obligatory performance, but first give us a few words about what this group is. But first, even before that, I must say this is WNHH 103.5 FM at 51 Elm Street here in New Haven, and we are thereby satisfying the federal regulations. But what is Kids of American Heroes, and where is it located, and why should people support you for doing all these wonderful things at thegreatgive.org? And in the dialogue box, they put Kids of American Heroes, or is it the
Kids of America's
Americans.
Heroes. Yes, and it is KOAH, COA, COAUSA.org.
And Maria, so how old is the organization, and what's its focus, and what do you do there? And Jason, what do you do there?
We are about 18 months in the making. We are a newer organization. We advocate and educate on behalf of military-connected kids, connecting them back to their community so they can go beyond resilience to thrive, achieve, and succeed.
Okay, so give us an example and tell us why you thought it was pressing to establish this kind of organization.
Sure. As Maria said, we're just a little over a year old, and Maria is the daughter of a World War II veteran, and myself served in the Navy a little over 25 years. And, we got together, started talking about, there are nonprofits and entities, government organizations that support veterans and military members, but nothing out there that supports the children of those military members. So
Specifically the kids.
Specifically the children.
Specifically the kids.
And a child is from what age? From 0 to
Zero through high school.
high school.
Right. So that's our focus.
And you checked out, you did your due diligence, no organization like this exists.
No, there are others that exist that are family-based, but nothing that deals specifically with the children.
Correct.
There was one that was funded by federal government, and as soon as you allow the federal government in to give you funds, you do what they say. And once those funds run dry, guess what? Your organization does too.
So your group is funded entirely?
Solely by
Donations.
through donations and grants. Yeah.
So what triggered the founding of the organization, apart from obviously your autobiographies, and give us an example in the process of like a kind of kid that you've been working with for years.
So, for instance, you may argue, say, well, there's our active duty military has military installations where they're based out of, and there's family services counselors on those installations. There's child development centers, which is all true. However, we've been at war since 2001, late 2001, and the military has utilized not only their active duty component, but their reserve component and the state's National Guard members throughout that whole time, almost 17 years now. So it's those places in the country that we're trying to focus on that don't have the ability to go to a military installation or go to a school in a community that revolves around a military installation, which is most of Connecticut and stuff. So an example is a student that is a member of a National Guard member here in Connecticut that father deployed multiple times with the Connecticut National Guard, and their son had some neuropsychological issues based on that separation, that anticipatory grief of their father being in a combat zone multiple times. And the schools have no way of really tracking that, or counselors that are able to bring that out, nurture that out, or have any reason to ask that.
So you're headquartered in Connecticut.
We are.
There's New London and
No.
So why are we here?
Because this is where we met, this is where we designed the organization, this is where we live and
It's our
work,
starting
and
point.
this is our starting point. This organization has its roots here in the Hamden, New Haven area. We continue to grow. We plan on branching out nationally and keeping it all within the United States of America, not going anywhere further. The DoD does a great job with DoD EA schools outside of this country. However, they're closing down the ones within this country. And would you be surprised to know that you probably are connected or know a child who is in the military, who has parents who are in the military?
I do.
There are over 45,000, approximately anywhere between 45,000 to 60,000 kids here in Connecticut who have parents, both parents, that have either been post 9/11 veterans, deployed, National Guard and Reserve, or active duty currently.
No, I'm always. I wish I could remember the guy's name. He was the chief of staff for Colin Powell. He's always on MSNBC, which we were addicted to at home, and he has asked questions about the longest military engagement in the history of the United States, which is ongoing, that you referred to. Which is,
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon.
and he says 1% of the population is involved in that personal way, and the rest of us not. So you're dealing with the children of that 1%.
We are.
So how does the situations come to you? What by means of what referrals through schools, or how do you find out what kid you need to work with?
It's actually, we don't go in and talk with the children individually, although we do have a counseling staff that can help. And they're available 24 hours a day and can be found through our website, which is koahusa.org. We do offer that, but our main goal is to go in and educate our educators. Our school systems have great teachers, great principals, fantastic counselors, but many of them are unaware of how to deal with children who have a life of military culture behind them.
Oh, that's interesting. So
We train the educator. We educate the educators.
So you do that by calling up a school, or how do you gain? These schools are so busy; they say to themselves, Who are these people? How do you make your case that this is important?
Through
Yeah,
organizations like this, from having the ability to come on radio shows like yours and being able to speak about Kids of America's Heroes, we advocate for these children so as we can educate on behalf of.
So you can go to thegreatgift.org, and in the dialogue box you put Kids of America's Heroes. So how many schools have you been able to go to here in Little Haven area?
Right now, I would say we were just in one this morning, actually. We're at the Morgan School in Clinton this morning. And we've been in just about 6 or 7 schools so far, public schools. That's our initial jumping off point to really go to the school superintendents, the principals, and the guidance counselors are the ones that are really going to see these children that have some of the unique issues that may arise from the parents being one or both parents being deployed.
There are 4 million children in the country, 4 million, who are directly affected. They suffer fear, anticipatory grief, anxiety every single day because they don't know if their parent's going to come back or not. They don't know when their parent is leaving, once they're gone, where they're going to be stationed. And let's say that Skype is a great thing and you can sit down and talk to your parents at night. When your base goes into a lockdown situation, that child doesn't have that connection with the parent that's now overseas. So there's that fear that's constantly revved up. When a child sits within a school and is depressed or acting out, teachers may or may not know that this child has a parent who is in harm's way. And when that parent comes home, there's always the potential for that child to suffer collateral damage of PTSD, the parental PTSD and TBI. So there's a whole other set of issues. But this is only one aspect of what Kids of America's Heroes does. We also go and support children who our military does a great, fantastic job, but is not paid enough to support their families. So if you are making under $2,000 a month and you have a wife and child, you can't put that child in daycare because it costs $2,000 a month to have the child in daycare, so the wife is home. You have to put food on the table, and there's a lot of food insecurity among military. In fact, I believe it's believed to be about 24% of military families are receiving some sort of financial aid for food programs. In addition, if I asked you, do you have any children that you've ever bought a backpack for going back to school supplies? That number is enormous when you come up to the monetary figure of what it'll cost to fill that backpack. We actually fill that pack and give it out to schools, and that's why we're here today. Your donation will help us to fill backpacks of school essentials so we can deliver it to schools within New Haven whose parents are, the kids or parents are military.
Yeah.
So how do you know which schools have military kids?
Yeah, great question, right? Because there's no real tracking system, and that's part of what we want to do too. We want to have, just a basic, when a new student comes to that school, and I'll take a step back, and Maria will probably squeeze my leg again because I speak to think, so sometimes I go down a rabbit hole. But
you speak to think? Is that what you?
Yeah, it's my personality. I speak to think, so sometimes I work it out while the words are coming out of my mouth.
My wife accuses me of heading behind. My defense is that I'm using the words to figure out what it is I'm thinking. She wants me to be quiet until it's a fully formed thought.
Last year I was on with Paul, and we talked about aviation half the time, and Maria was kicking my chair to say, hey, let's get on to COA.
So you were saying how you identified the military kids.
Right, so, or lack of. What we'd like to do is have a questionnaire to show when, hey, this student has a parent or a guardian that is military connected, is in the military and potentially deployed or deployable.
When the kid comes to a school, that school knows.
And it may just not be around deployments. I mean, in the military, I moved, I think, 15 times in my career, and about half those time with my a child or with both my children, and it definitely has an effect, as you can imagine, pulling a child out of the school and moving to a new community, not knowing where they're, if they're going to be accepted or not. And when you go to that new school, there's, no matter what state, I think Massachusetts may have it, but it's not mandatory, right? So that's something we want to get nationwide, where we have at least an identifier for those students when they show up to a school. Now the guidance counselor, the school knows this person's connected to a military family, and there's potential for that child's parent to be deployed.
Well, it makes us proud here at WNHH 103.5 at 51 Elm Street that we are a platform for hearing about an innovative new organization. New Haven, in its history, has been a place that has pioneered lollipops, burgers.